When you are arrested for domestic violence, especially if it's your first time ever being arrested, one of the things that you will realize is that the way that things work is not exactly intuitive. It's not how you think that it would be or that it should be. And in this video, which is part 5 in a series of 7, in which I'm breaking down common misconceptions that people who are arrested for domestic violence, especially if it's their first time being arrested for anything, commonly have. And a lot of these misconceptions are based in common sense, but common sense is not always that common in the criminal justice system, especially when it comes to domestic violence cases. My name is Veronica. I'm a domestic violence defense attorney here in California, and I help people put their cases behind them so that they can enjoy their lives and their freedom. I'm also the creator of a course called Defeat the DVRO, in which I teach you from start to finish everything you need to know to represent yourself at a restraining order hearing and win. If that is something that you are interested in, if you also have a domestic violence restraining order case, you can get your free first class in the course via the link down below. Okay, so misconception number 5 is that using classes, therapy, anything that you had to do for another case, like a family law case, will help you with your domestic violence criminal case. Most likely it won't. You need to start new domestic violence classes. You need to start additional therapy. You need to do something different than you were doing before. So if you do have a family law case and the family law judge ordered you to go to 52 sessions of family therapy, so you're required to do that already for that case. It's not that helpful to come into this domestic violence criminal case and say, oh look, I'm doing all this therapy. When I'm showing proof that my client is doing classes, domestic violence classes, anger management, therapy, anything like that, I want to show that it's because they're taking our case seriously. And especially if you were already going to some kind of therapy before and then you got arrested, what the DA wants to see, what the prosecution wants to see, is that something changed, that you're now doing something different. And it can actually look really bad for you to try to submit something that you're doing for family law court or children's court, or even worse, another criminal case. Try to submit it as, oh, look at all the good things that I'm doing. Because it makes it seem like you are trying to trick the prosecution or trick the court. If you submit proof of all that stuff that you're doing for family court to the prosecution, then they may think, well, none of that is working, so immediately to jail. What other option do we have? You're already doing all these programs. Obviously they didn't work, so we'll just have to send you to jail and scare you straight. There's a lot of overlap with what the family courts might want, what a criminal court might want if you're charged with domestic violence, what children's court or DCFS, if they have unfortunately gotten involved, what they might want. So some people will tell me, well, I already finished domestic violence classes. Why would I take them again? Or, I already did anger management. I don't want to have to do any more of that, which is understandable. But more than you don't want to do that, you probably want to get the best possible result in your criminal case, right? And sometimes that can even be getting the whole charge dropped, especially if this is your first arrest ever. But it's really going to make that more likely if you do go and do therapy or anger management or domestic violence classes, or all of them as recommended by your attorney. So let's do an example of how this can play out. Jenna was ordered by the family law court after accusations of her ex that her parenting style was too aggressive and that she had anger problems. She was ordered to go to anger management. So she started going. She did 1 per week for 26 weeks. After that, she gets arrested for a domestic violence charge during a custody exchange. Amongst the documents that she gives her attorney to show that she is a good person, she deserves a second chance, is proof of these 26 anger management classes. Her attorney, knowing nothing about the family law case, gives those documents to the prosecutor. The prosecutor notices that she started going to these anger management classes and in fact finished them way before the date of the arrest. He looks up the family law court docket. He sees that she was ordered to go. And now, instead of thinking, wow, she's really being proactive here, he's thinking, this is somebody who has a big anger problem. Now, compare that to if Jenna was told by her attorney, go take anger management classes, and she, instead of saying, I already went, and giving the attorney proof, she went to those anger management classes after the arrest date. Now, the prosecutor looks at this stack of all the good things about her character letters and sees that, wow, this is somebody who was really horrified to be arrested, and who is obviously very responsible and doing everything that she can to make sure that there aren't any more problems during these custody exchanges. So this is somebody maybe I give a second chance to. If your criminal defense attorney is telling you to take certain classes or do certain things and you've already done them, make sure that you make it really clear to them that, hey, this is something I did for another case. Look, it's understandable to not want to take more of something that you've already done, especially when you're busy and the classes cost money. It is understandable. But if your criminal defense attorney is suggesting these things to you, it's not because we think that you need it. It's not because it makes us happy to refer you to these programs and we want to waste your time. It is because in many cases it helps. Make sure that you check out the rest of the series, because I've been doing this for almost 11 years now and I've heard these same misconceptions time and again and have corrected them. That's where I got it from people in the position that you might find yourself in right now. And if you did find the video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell, and follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.